Yes, in lesson 4, we're going to be talking about a percent of change. So a percent of change is a ratio that compares the change in the quantity to the original amount. So our equation here is our percent of change equals the amount of change divided by the original amount times 100, since we're talking about percents. Now, another way you can think about this would be our new number minus our old number divided by our old number, and then times 100. Old being the same as your original. If the percent is positive, the percent of change is a percent of increase. If the percent is negative, then the percent of change is called a percent of decrease, which should make sense. If a price or something is going down, it's a decrease. If the number is rising, it would be an increase. Okay, so our first example, find the percent of change from 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 84 degrees Fahrenheit. So from tells us that the 60 degrees is our old. To tells us that 84 degrees is our new. So if we go back up here, our percent of change would be our new, so 84, minus our old, minus 60, divided by our old, these two should match, times 100. So working through this, 84 minus 60 is 24 divided by 60 times 100, which would give us, if you go ahead and do 24 divided by 60 and then times 100, just make sure your times 100 is outside of your division, will give us 40%. It was positive, so it's a 40% increase. We won't always ask you to label, but just so you get in the habit of it. 40% increase, which again, you should have known from the very beginning that it was an increase. So if you had gone through this and gotten a negative number, that should tell you that you need to go back and rearrange your numbers. All right, next one. Working with that same equation, the amount of change, so our new minus old over our old times 100. McKenna had 318 stamps. Now she has 273 stamps. Find the percent of change, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So our had tells us that was our old. She now has 273, so that's our new. So percent of change equals our new minus our old over our old times 100. So 273 minus 318 gives us a negative 45 over 318 times 100. Now be careful. I'm going to go back and label something here. When it says to round to the nearest tenth, if necessary, because I know we're going to have to round here, you round after you multiply by 100. You do not round until the very, very end. So if we do all of this at once, that'll help us. So negative 45 divided by 318 times 100 gives us a negative 14.2%. Since it's negative, it was a decrease. Negative 14.2% decrease. All right, moving right along. We did one increase, we did one decrease. Now we want to find our percent of sales tax. Some nice applicable stuff here. You're all going to work with sales tax at some point. So Mr. Lee bought a memory card for $138.89, including tax. The card had a sticker price of $129.20. What is the percent sales tax did he pay? So this is talking about a percent of change. Our tax would be a percent of change. It increases our price, so we know we should be getting an increase. So we have two methods to work through. The first would be to use the percent equation to find the percent of sales tax. So our new price is what he actually paid. The old price is the sticker price. So our percent of change is our new 138.89 over 129.20, getting ahead of myself here, sorry. Our new minus our old, rather. Then over our old, so I guess I didn't actually have to erase that, sorry about that. And then always times 100 since we're talking about percentages. So 138.89 minus 129.20 gives us 969 over 129.20, still times 100. So that tells us that we had a 7.5% sales tax if you calculate that out. Okay, so there's one way to find our tax using our percent of change equation. The other way, method 2, divide the total cost of the memory card by the sticker price. So we take our total cost of 138.89 divided by the sticker price of 129.20. When we divide that, we get 1.075. Now there's a few steps we have to do here. This tells me the entire percentage that we paid, but we need to take out our sticker price. So we need to take out our 100%. So you would subtract 1, which leaves us with 0.075. Now since we're talking about percentages again, we need to take it times 100, which again gets us to our 7.5%. So that's just a different way that we could look at this. The tricky part here, it seems really simple at the beginning, but you have to remember to subtract your 1 and then multiply by 100. We need to take out our 100%, which again is the ticket price, or our sticker price in this case. Leaving us with our percent as decimals, so times 100, gives us a 7.5% sales tax, which makes sense since that's what we got the first time. And in order to use either method, we would have to get the same answer. Okay, so that's all of your notes. There's a now you try here. So on Tuesday, a baker sold 132 cookies. On Wednesday, she sold 108 cookies. Find the percent of change to the nearest tenth of a percent. Remember, when you're doing this, we don't multiply by 100, or we don't round to the nearest tenth until we multiply by 100. Please make sure you're showing your work on this. I want to see more than just answers. All right, that's the end of this lesson.